It's time for the Lowco Sports Lowdown. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Max Arraj.
Hey, Lowco sports fans, welcome in Thursday night. Got the whole crew here, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, Max Arraj with you. We will be running down the headlines and then getting into the Lowco Pigskin preview because it is that time again. Football Eve. I guess I said Football Eve last Thursday, and my students picked up on it because Kamari Brown said, "When are you going to have me on for Football Eve?" And I said, well, we'll see. And it might be tonight. Kamari Brown and Joseph Ferguson, Hardyville Hurricanes, and members of the Canes news team are up in Ridgeland for the game with East Clarendon tonight. And at last report, it was 26-14 East Clarendon, and Ridgeland showing some signs of life after being down 20 at halftime. They scooped and scored about 80 yards and got a 3-and-out, and it looked like they might get right back in it, but then they had to punt, and defenses have kind of taken over here for a minute. So that's where we stand. We'll keep you posted on that, and Kamari and Joe may jump on and give us an update as well. We've also got, of course, we've got a whole bunch of football games to run down that will be played tomorrow. We're going to choose our football player of the week from last week for the Lowco. When Marcus Walsh gets in here in a little bit, we'll do a live vote real time, and we'll sort it out. And then we'll check the voting on the fan ballot, to see where their vote goes. So it's going to be fun. We're going to do it live. Other scores and headlines, if we come across them, we'll pass them along tonight. I have not dug in too much. I know the Canes lost to Bamberg Earhart on the volleyball court. Got that news this evening. And then we're going to talk a little bit about this too. JJ Tracy, former Hilton Head Prep guy, Smith Stearns guy, is in the U.S. Open.
Yeah, I saw that.
And won his doubles match today, so still in it, which is really nice. Cool. So that's the rundown for tonight. How you boys doing?
I'm doing well. I'm running on fumes. I did not get much sleep last night, so just trying to power through this one and hopefully get a much better night's sleep here. But I'm doing great. I'm pumped for tomorrow. First trip over the Beaufort Leys Island, and it's going to be a fantastic matchup against Greenwood. We'll definitely get into that when we do our previews, but it's always a really fun atmosphere. And I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Things are enjoyable. This, it's the anticipation of this, the beginning of fall sports. It's here. We're really starting to get going with. It was great to talk with Claire Green yesterday. She was fantastic as always. That was great, and now it's full speed ahead into week 2 because we got a big slate coming up on Friday.
Rocking and rolling. We got college football on TV. Mizzou's up 35-0. Colorado's down at halftime. North Dakota State. It's good times.
North Carolina State was in some trouble early against Western Carolina.
Oh, that's not good. I was told North
Carolina. That's a 14 game. Early. Yeah, NC State and Western Carolina, 14 apiece.
Western Carolina, that's our boy Theron Cannon.
Yes, sir. That's right. Yeah.
Thomas Hayward alum.
Colorado was struggling at one point too. I think.
Yeah, they're down 20-17. Into the third in Ridgeland, still 26-14 in favor of East Clarendon. Good chance for Hardyville guys because they got to, with them playing on Thursday, they got to go check it out. They have East Clarendon next week and then Ridgeland in region play. So not very often that you get to scout two teams, live that you play later in the season because they happen to play on a Thursday 20 minutes from your house. So that's pretty cool.
Looks like
Barnwell from the comments. Well. Barnwell walloped Williston Elko 41-0. And so Barnwell's looking good. They'll be over at the I would reckon the Hampton coaches were probably at the Barnwell game tonight, and the Barnwell coaches will probably be at the Hampton game tomorrow. What do you want to wager on that one? That at least somebody from Hampton was at Barnwell, and at least somebody from Barnwell is at Hampton.
Oh yeah.
So.
I wouldn't put it past them, man. I think that's the game both teams are looking towards. That's I know Barnwell's ready and they want that game.
Mm-hmm.
So
that one's circled on the calendar.
That's gonna be a fun game to go and check out when it comes around. So, but we'll get there when it comes around.
Oh, first play of the fourth quarter, a touchdown for East Clarendon. It's 32-14 with 11:53 left to play. So starting to get away from the Jags just a little bit. But we also have a little surprise that we had not that I had forgotten about. It slipped my mind, but I just remembered it when I saw somebody pop in the green room. So this could be a fun show. We're going to have a good time tonight. It's presented by our all-star sponsor, Mickelson Law Firm, our original sponsor. They came on board not long after we got going in 2017. Took a leap of faith to support this little grassroots local sports journalism venture, and we appreciate them. They've been with us ever since. They're the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage and our official real estate closing attorney, but you can call on them for all your legal needs right in downtown Bluffton. Mickelson Law Firm, our all-star sponsor, presenting the LowcoSports Lowdown and Lowco Pigskin preview tonight. But before we get into all that, we got a little surprise because we got another big-time competition kicking off tomorrow, and that is the Peach Belt Conference Mascot Challenge. And we got Bracken Lambert joining us from USCB. What's up, buddy? You're on mute.
Yeah, I wanted to. There we go. Hey, guys. Long time no see.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, JJ, can you pull up our Instagram real quick? I tried to get everything kind of squared away, but I was like, ooh, the Lowdown's popping on. Let me hop on real quick. And
I'm glad you remembered because I saw your text, but I was at school, and that was a long time ago. And I had totally forgotten about it until I saw you. I was like, who's in the green room? Oh, yeah. So it was one of those deals. But there we go.
There's,
not only that, but we were a week away. We were a week away from the first women's soccer match.
That we are. So
season
tomorrow starting at 12 o'clock on the Peach Belt Instagram and TikTok page, the 2024 Mascot Challenge goes underway. And we were 1% last year from claiming the title for a second consecutive year. We lost in the final seconds.
Man.
It was so close. But this year, we're going out. We're giving every bit that we've got right here. Finnegan starts off with Flagler's Lewis, starting at 12 o'clock, and then it goes throughout the weekend. So
that's easy work. Lewis is easy work.
Definitely want to give a big shout out to my director of social media, Ashton McNair, for helping me come up with this design. My first thought was Mortal Kombat, round one, let's go.
Finish him.
Yes.
Then she came up and was like, what about Super Smash Brothers? So took a little finagling, but we found a pretty awesome template and was able to pull this out. So look tomorrow for another preview video that we're going to have on Finnegan's page that will collaborate with a couple. And then, 48 hours for the first round. And then hopefully we don't go into the second day where that's a day for the last two teams to get picked. So about 5 days, and the winner will be picked on the 4th, I believe. So the 4th or 5th, and we'll find out here next week. So it's going to be a fun time, and awesome. I can personally say that Finnegan is ready to rumble. So
let's go. Let's go.
A lot of fun.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Hey, great time here.
I would just like to remind people that I was the first person to don the Finnegan costume, and twice. Once I had to wear it, and once I had to manage the person wearing it at Columbia, up at Columbia at the State House for Carolina Day. So I have a great affinity for Finnegan. I also wrote his origin story, so I love Finnegan. Please support Finnegan in the Peach Belt Mascot
Finnegan's
Challenge.
Man.
These are the important things in life. You know?
We need the title this year.
Yeah,
that's right.
We need to take back the title, 2024.
But Wes alluded to it. But we're about to kick off soccer season over there too.
Yeah, we've had 2 scrimmages, and both have ended in ties. And then we beat UNC Pembroke in PKs this past Wednesday. or so yesterday.
All right.
Sorry, my days are all getting kind of confused.
Yeah.
We're in full swing.
I just saw. What did I see? I think it was yesterday. I saw that the preseason rankings came out for women's soccer as well.
The preseason rankings for both cross countries and women's soccer came out this week. The cross country teams are picked 8th and 9th, 8th for the men, 9th for the women, and women's soccer picked 7th. I think that goes a lot. I mean, it's preseason rankings. We talked
not
about
a lot of spec on it. Not a lot of spec on it yet.
Numbers,
You lose, you lose your longtime head coach. You lose your all-time leading scorer, first team all-conference member. Your your all-tournament team member is out with an injury, but you do have Sin, second team all-conference. So, and I'll tell you what, this roster is stacked.
Yeah.
It's
Aaliyah Wade's back, terrific defender from last year. Kristen Beltis. There's a ton returning who have been around this program for Kenny Harris as well. So there's a lot of strong talent from this team that were important who will be back this year. Obviously, it is you can't replace a player like Kovac. She was one of the best that you'll ever see wear a St. Shark uniform, but there are a bunch of others who I'm really looking to see improve upon what they've done, and some freshmen looking to cement their. Molly Kerr is another one who really impressed me defensively, and of course Savannah Page, electric scorer. So it's going to be a ton of fun to get things rolling, and then their first home game will be against King coming up next Saturday, and I will be on the call on the St. Shark Game Day Network as we get things rolling from Finland Field.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'm really excited for these freshmen too. When Jay left, there was a little thought that some of these freshmen would, probably decommit and, try to either follow him to Barry or test the waters. They might still come back or something like that. But only one ended up decommitting, and everybody else came. And I'm telling you, they've made an immediate impact here. And then Dan himself added three more in. So we're at a 37 total. That's going to be a huge roster, but Dan's got a good way of feeding these kids in. Lauren Carmichael's left-footed. She's going to play on left back. Kate James also, she's from Jefferson, Georgia. So she's another one to be excited about. Those are two that have stuck out to me a lot. But then Kensington Daigle made a really good plays on the ball. But like you said, Wes, having Lenny back, Lene Logan, Jenny Hespy, who was I believe third in team in goals last year.
Yeah, she had a big year.
Yeah, Aaliyah, and then Molly, Sin and Savannah up top, Kristen in the middle. It's gonna be a great year. And I mean, you know what? Pick a seventh. Honestly, pick a seventh. Don't care. We got picked 7th last year. We finished in the top 5.
All right. I think there should be a goal to finish in the top half. As this is the final year before the full status. Correct.
Yeah. Last provisional year.
Yeah.
If everything goes as it should.
Yeah.
We'll be a full-fledged NCAA 2 member this time next year. So.
But
I know you guys got a lot to go on to, so I just wanted to pop in real quick. Thank you guys always for the support.
By the way, are we starting the rewind this weekend?
Talk to Dan. Yeah, let me talk to Dan. It's with the Labor Day weekend, we might push get the first 2 games underneath our belt. I'd like to do a preview show, but if not, then we can
hop on the lowdown. We can talk about whatever works best for you.
Word. Yep. We got a vehicle.
Yeah,
we'll do something. I promise you. So
awesome.
We're gonna get everything rolling again. Still trying to get that sponsor finalized for the rewind. So
that's
fantastic.
But thank you guys as always, and remember 12 o'clock tomorrow. Finnegan,
let's go.
Before mascot challenge. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Rock the vote. All right, appreciate you, man. Be good.
Yeah.
All right, Bracken Lambert, everybody from USCB Sand Sharks Athletics.
Before we move on, just so everyone who's watching, another way to support Finnegan is go over to his Instagram page and follow him, and you'll get all information surrounding Finnegan there. So make sure to go and follow him on Instagram.
He's fire. He's fire on IG.
Yeah, I know.
He's got some hunger after that. off defeat in the finals last year.
Yeah, he's been training hard all season long, boosting up his social media following.
Ain't no one better than Finnegan, man.
Oh yeah.
But all right, boys. Well, let's see, a couple of scores that I did track down. Patrick Henry swept Hilton Head Prep in volleyball 3-0.
Wow.
That's just kind of a shocker.
Battery Creek with a 3-1 win over Whale Branch on Beaufort's Own. You can see the highlights already up on YouTube. That's how I went and found out what the score was. So that's all I've tracked down so far. But that's a couple of scores for you. That's something. Oh, no, wait. I have one other. Let me get in my email. We got golf. Ron Grant coming through with the golf scores.
Nice.
The Seahawks win the quad match. They beat May River significantly, but as we alluded to last night with Claire, neither Claire nor Robin played. So May River shot 204. Hilton Head shot 182. Harper Hedden, the medalist for Hilton Head, with a 37.
Seahawks.
Lexi Milbrandt also didn't play. So,
okay, so the top players were
getting some younger girls some opportunity. But that Hilton Head team with Lexi in there, Brooke Nicholas, Harper Hedden, Catherine Gavin, their top 4 scorers are going to be solid. So they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
How about this? De'Aaron Cannon in Western Carolina have just pulled ahead over ranked NC State on the road.
Let's go. Let's go. T.R. Cannon got to be losing his mind right now.
Yeah.
I think he's there. I think he was planning to be there for this one. He's got to be absolutely going insane. I'm going to have to text him during the show and see if I get anything back. That's going to be fun. But also, MVP oh, yeah, what do you got?
Sorry, I was looking at something. Oh, we'll do it after you do your sponsor.
All right. MVP sponsors of LowcoSports, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports, and my wife. She's with Keller Williams of the Low Country. She'd love to help you find your place in the Lowco or upgrade to a bigger, better place in the Lowco. So if you want to get in the market, you can do it with Megan Jarrett, official realtor of LowcoSports, and my wife. Homegrown Home Inspections will check out that home and make sure it is good to go. They're the best in the biz. And if you're building a new home, you got to have the phased inspection where they check on it every step of the way and make sure it's built right with Homegrown Home Inspections. Hospice Care of the Low Country, our official hospice provider, providing hospice care, palliative care, and free grief counseling, plus much more. At Hospice Care of the Low Country, where it's not about dying, it's about living. Those are our MVP sponsors. And now we welcome in from WHHI TV, the golden voice of Marcus Walsh. What's up, buddy?
Gentlemen, how are we?
We are well.
I'm doing great.
As you can tell.
I am doing fantastic.
We're very well.
Been a busy week for you guys. I've been checking in, every day, getting tidbits of what's going on in low country sports and keeping it rolling.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Keeps me grounded, I guess. Like it keeps me grounded in something that I care about, and I know a lot of other people care about, and it's a cool little community we have where we can just kind of block out everything else for an hour every night and talk about the kids playing sports. I really enjoy it, and we enjoy it when you're here with us. And we're going to constitute the panel this season. These 4 votes plus the vote of the fans will determine our player of the week. So we're going to do it here in real time. And Marcus, you already you relayed your vote to me, but who are you going with?
I'm going to go with Aiden McCarthy of Bluffton. He was absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, 4 of his 6 touchdown passes went to one guy, but he was just great doing it through the air and on the ground as well. I look forward to seeing him a couple of times this year against May River and certainly the Hilton Head game. So seeing what we saw out of that first full week of games, I'm going to go with Aiden McCarthy of the Bluffton Bobcats at quarterback.
It's a solid choice. So we have 1 vote for Aiden McCarthy. Max, I'll go to you next. And I'm attempting to get our ballot up here so folks can see what we're working with. There you go. There's the 10 guys on the ballot. Some really good performances. I had to leave on the cutting room floor. It was a yeoman's effort to get it down to 10 this week. But Max, who you got, buddy?
Oh man, it's tough for me. I'm choosing between two here, but I'm gonna have to agree with Marcus Walsh here. I think it's Aiden McCarthy, man. I think the show he put on for Bluffton was just absolutely incredible. I mean, you can make the argument that Cardinal Warren, I think, was that other guy that I was debating between. But I mean, the way Bluffton showed up as a team last Friday, I couldn't not go with either one of those two players. But I'm gonna go with Aiden McCarthy. I think he just had a fantastic night, and I look forward to seeing more of that on Friday.
That's 2 votes for McCarthy. Wes, you could seal it right here.
And I'm going to do just that. Aiden McCarthy. Oh. I'm going to go with McCarthy. I was just, it's hard to choose between the quarterback and the receiver, but
it wasn't for me in that case because I thought it was harder to choose between which receiver. Ulmer had 130 yards on 4 catches. It just didn't happen to be touchdowns.
Right.
So that made it easier for me to go Aiden over them, but it also got me all jumbled up and I went in another direction.
But no, what a debut for McCarthy. And against the Whale Branch secondary, who we thought would be a challenge for him. And he picked them apart.
I thought they'd be a strength. Yeah. Picked them apart. Absolutely picked them apart. No,
I don't always love to go with the flow of everyone else, but I was there in person. I witnessed this firsthand, and he was an absolute superstar out there today.
Oh yeah, and seeing it in person will always be a tiebreaker. Like if you saw it in person, that's always gonna just weigh a little heavier. Well, I was going with Jalen Singletary.
Yep, that's a solid choice.
Absolutely, because I saw him in person, and he was an absolute monster, just a monster. So, and just one of the best interviews we've ever had. I think the other night he was phenomenal. So that means that unfortunately the results of the fan voting will not contribute to who wins. But let's see if I can find the results here.
Let's see who won it.
See who won it. All right, here we go. In the fan voting, the winner is Walker Bryan from Carleton Prep.
Yeah.
Carleton Prep turns out the vote for the second week in a row. They took the fan voting last week as well. Micah Jack says Jalen Singletary.
That was an impressive performance from Bryan. 221, 4 touchdowns, and 6.5 tackles. Well, I think he was probably the next guy that chose behind McCarthy and Warren, especially against the solid team in St. John's Christian that has always been sneakily good. So that tremendous performance from Bryan, and good call there from the fans.
Yeah, I was kind of between Singletary and my guy Lewis Gadsden, Bubba. He had quite a game too. 13 for 220 and 3 TDs in the Canes debut. That was pretty good.
It's not a bad night.
Yeah, good night. I get to see Lewis every day at lunch and ask him if he's ready to.
Another good one that on Friday night. All these finalists tremendous, but
Michael Tucker Mack has had a stupid line.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
And that was against a 2A public school. I know it's academic magnet, but still. He had a stupid night.
Yeah.
on all sides of the ball because he kicks too. He's the kicker too. So, but our player of the week, Mr. Aiden McCarthy, not the only honoree from the Lowco this week. Lots of players of the week from the Lowco, from the South Carolina Football Coaches Association. In Class 4A, we almost swept the lower state awards. Caleb Gadsden from Bluffton winning the Defensive Player of the Week. Tanner Hudson from May River was Special Teams Player of the Week. And Hayden Crockett from Hilton Head, the Lineman of the Week. So that's terrific. And then if you go on down to 2A, Jalen Singletary is the Offensive Player of the Week as well. So good showing from the Loco in week one. Yeah. Taking home a bunch of awards from the South Carolina Football Coaches.
3 out of 4, that's pretty impressive from 4A Lower State, where you always get a nice, strong, especially from the Myrtle Beach area. That there's always a ton of. Yep. So well done.
Yeah, although that got broken up a little bit. Some of those
teams did. You're right. You're right. They did. There are a few.
So it's going to be interesting see how that impacts because that was always the problem when you had to
there was always that region, which was Region 6 at the time, was absolutely stacked from top to bottom, and now it looks a little bit different, but not the same. So
you got like the Hartsville and stuff, but you don't have Myrtle Beach and the big Florence schools.
Yeah, Myrtle Beach is 5A now. North Myrtle Beach is also 5A. And then we still have Hartsville, we still have South Florence, Wilson. Okay. So there's a few teams that are still there, but there are a couple that
is West Florence still in there?
West Florence.
They go to 5A.
I think they're.
They might have gone up to 5. They were getting.
They're 5A. They are 5. They're Region 5. Yep. So West Florence is a 5A squad. South is still 4A. Interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. But West Florence was. That's a pretty big school. All right, so that's that. Those are our players of the week, and now we can shift gears into taking a look at what's going on this week.
Before we wrap up, there were some other. We talked about 4A, but there are also 2 other Lowco studs.
Well, I said Singletary. Was there?
Yeah, Singletary. Also Ploutnets from.
I didn't see that one.
Xavier Ploutnets from Ridgeland.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh, sure enough. Yeah, Xavier X.
Yep.
He's a good dude. Happy for him. He had a really good game. He had like 12 tackles, I think, 2 tackles for loss. So a really good game. But they are taking it on the chin a little bit tonight against East Clarendon. Last report still 32-14 in the 4th. And I haven't seen Joe and Kamari. Y'all gonna come on? We'll see if they pop in here. But I was about to shift us into I was about to shift us into something, but then I saw somebody in the green room. But let me read sponsors first before we let them in. Varsity sponsors DDS Web Design, builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits that get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, go to ddashhi.com. Parker Law Group, serving legal needs across Colleton, Jasper, and Hampton counties, and helping us shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes out there and all across the Lowco. Dr. Ambrose Coles, our official chiropractor. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. And Reverence Wrestling Club is our official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. You can take your skills on the mat to the next level at Reverence Wrestling Club. And now we can talk Lowco Pigskin preview, and we've got another friend joining us for that. 2 friends, in fact, the Stricklander and my boy Blue.
Hey, what's going on,
up, Blue? What's up, Blue?
You're my boy Blue.
You didn't hear me. What's up, Blue? There he is. So big win. Before we talk football, real quick, big win for the Patriots on the volleyball court tonight down in Sea Pines.
Yeah, got to give props to Coach McKenzie and all the girls that we've had 3 games this week and gone 3-0. So
tremendous.
Got a young team. Looks like a pretty good season. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, man. But welcome to talk a little football. Week 2 football coming up, already underway. Actually, Ridgeland down 32-14 in the 4th quarter. So we'll see how that one turns out. Getting late, but they got East Clarendon. East Clarendon was up 26-6 at halftime. And still holding on. And it looks like we're going to get a report on that game now from the Canes news reporters and Hardyville Hurricanes juniors, Joseph Ferguson and Kamari Brown. What's up, boys?
I can't flip the camera, but unfortunately it's 14-32 right now. They about to lose. And MJ got mad and he was like, thanks to Hardyville, we got to play on a Thursday like a JV team. And
yeah, man. He
just started going off when it's really their AD fault.
Well, number 2 right now look like he about
hey now. You're on a live broadcast now. But let's talk about the football game. It was 26-6 at halftime. Jags got on the board with a little scoop and score, and then things, but they couldn't keep up the momentum. So tell us more about it.
Yeah, the game just ended. The final score is 32-14.
You're corny, bro. You're corny, bro.
The final score is 32-14.
This man is corny.
Oh boy. Well, we appreciate you, Ferg. It seems like there we go.
See you tomorrow morning.
You get to a better spot.
Thank you.
Congratulations to East Clarendon. You guys got to look at them. You get to play them next week, right? Not to look too far ahead though, because Whale Branch coming to the Fallout Shelter tomorrow. You guys ready for it?
Yes, sir. We ready.
I know you are. Well, we'll see you tomorrow morning in class, and great reporting tonight for the Canes News. Debut episode out on YouTube. HBL Canes News. Go check it out.
Yes, sir.
Stay good, boys.
You too.
I believe it's their curfew, according to Principal Rayleigh. He said they're supposed to be home by 10, so they're getting out the door by 10. Good enough. I told him they had homework for me tonight. They had to make an appearance in the Lowdown and let us know about the game, so that was fun. Thanks for indulging us. But Ridgeland loses tonight 32-14 to East Clarendon, and now we go on live broadcast, fellas. You're right. Got to remind them sometimes. Kamari, he's a good dude. I love those kids. But here's the rundown real quick. Greenwood at Beaufort, where I believe Wes is going to be on hand on Ladies Island. James Island at Hilton Head. I think I'm sending Tim Alonzo over there. May River at West Ashley. Bluffton at Andrew Jackson. Woodland at Colleton County. JP2 at Battery Creek, where Marcus will be on the call with WHHI TV. Allendale Fairfax at Hampton County. I think that's easy work for the Canes. Whale Branch at Hardyville. I'll be there along with the fellas from Beaufort's Own broadcast in that one. Bethesda Academy at Hilton Head Christian Academy. Patrick Henry at Clarendon Hall. The Stricklander will, of course, be there with bells on, keeping the stats. Thomas Hayward at Colleton Prep. Max is making the trek to Walterboro for what should be a Donnybrook. Beaufort Academy at St. John's Christian. And the Kings Academy at Cross Schools. And I'm sure Robbie B will be over there supporting the Mighty Stingrays in the 8-man contest. So that's the rundown. If you didn't hear that one of us is going to be there and you're going to be there, we want to hear from you. Not only throughout the game, but after the game as well. Let us know what's going on in your neck of the woods. We're going to try to jump on at 9:30 again and run down the scores as they go final and keep you up as time's going along. But let's jump into these games. Where do we want to start, boys? Wes, you want to start with
Beaufort? Let's go Beaufort. Yeah.
Start at the top of the list, man. Let's
yes.
go down.
Beaufort hosting Greenwood should be a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, this is from what I've been seeing a pretty solid Greenwood team. They've got some strong pieces, including some young guys like Desiree Christian, who is looking to be a tremendous wideout over there. And then you have Kamari Griffin, who's been a stud defensively, playing a little bit of linebacker and defensive back. And so they're going to be tested a number of different ways. You'd love to see them get their first win in terms of Beaufort and avoid that 0-2 start, but certainly much easier said than done. This Chris Liner coached Greenwood team is going to put up a heck of a fight on the road. I expect it to be a tight game. I think Beaufort will battle and find a way to come out on top in the fourth quarter. I think it could come down to the wire in this ball game. First game of the season for Greenwood, so they were off last week, so they'll have their first contest coming up Friday night. Beaufort's looking to rebound after a narrow loss where they were down multiple scores against Fort Dorchester, came back to tie it, and then just short on what I believe was, as Jimmy put it, a controversial call. Tough to see that derail Beaufort.
Fourth down penalty. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. But I'm looking to see how Samari Bonds will start things off at home alongside some terrific talent at the skill positions that I think is really starting to see who's going to emerge this year. Who's going to be that Jaden Andrews or that Casey Fields kind of guy who's going to step up. And I'm looking to see how this offense performs against a solid Greenwood group on Ladies Island. So it's going to be a fantastic game. I'm pumped to see this Beaufort team, and it's a chance to prove themselves and kind of cement that we are the team to beat in this region in 6-4A. Can we put together against a perennial strong Greenwood team which is now playing in 5A this year. So another great test for the Eagles. And Bryce Library's done a great job. He's done it the last few years, putting together a tough schedule early, whether it's been that Georgia teams a couple years ago came in, or Fort Dorchester's been a common opponent the last few seasons as well. He has worked them in difficult early schedules, and that always pays off in dividends when you get down the road into the final few region games. So, you take it, you want to perform well. You'd love to win this ball game and avoid an 0-2 start. You have Philip Simmons next week, so that's another tough matchup as well. That's a very, very challenging
another
opening.
Tough team.
Yeah,
tough team.
Goose Creek after that, so they are going to be.
Look at these game notes from Greenwood. Look at these game notes that Greenwood puts out.
This is well done stuff
That's
there.
legit.
Unreal.
Yeah, I mean
that goes back to my
legit
days
stuff.
at Ashland University.
I don't have to. I don't have to. Normally, I have to go hunt for a roster. Not this time. I got it right here on my email. So, props.
It's unreal. Here's a fun
crazy.
fact. Chris Leiner and Bryce Libran, the two head coaches, both hail from Greenwood. Libran played on the Eagles' offensive line from 2000 to 2004, and one of his biggest influences continues to be his high school coach, Shel Dula.
Nice.
So that's a fun little fact. Leiner was an assistant coach under Dula during Libran's playing days. So Libran used to play for this guy.
Yeah, fun story.
Yeah, it's a fun little matchup. It's got a little history to it.
It's
So
always fun.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, it should be a good game. A little jealous. I think you're gonna have a great time. I'm always jealous of, even if I'm at a good game, I'm still jealous of the ones I'm not at. So who y'all boys got in this one? Greenwood or Buford?
Wes analyzed that beautifully, and I'm going to take Buford as well. I think that they continue to show strides. I think more and more, going back to what we talked about last week, and certainly seeing Buford last year with my own eyes, and I plan to see him a couple of times this year. I will have the call of the Battery Creek game, but I plan to see them for you guys against Goose Creek the week before. I think Elias Johnson really is the guy that could end up being that do-it-all pack for them that they've had in the past. I think he's going to get a big bulk of the carries tomorrow. And obviously with Samari Bonds, Will Cotting, and company still anchoring the leadership roles of that football team under Bryce Libran, it's going to be a big game for them tomorrow. It's their first game of the season at home. I'm taking the Eagles in a close one.
All right. Wes or Max?
Buford by less than a touchdown. I don't know if I made
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know if you did either. Anybody else?
I think the other thing would be is Greenwood hasn't played a game yet. Buford's already had a challenging game to start out the season. I think Buford's in much better condition at this point going into this game than Greenwood is. Greenwood hasn't played a game yet. We don't know, we don't know what to expect out of this Greenwood team, but I could tell you, I mean, this is a very, prestigious football program out of Greenwood, always has been.
Yes.
So, it's going to be a close game, but I think in terms of condition for both teams, I think Buford fares better in this game. I agree with Wes. I think it'll be Buford, but it's going to be close. I'll give it a 3-point game.
Closer than the experts think. Stricklander, who you got?
5 points. Field goal to safety.
I can't say much more than that. I mean,
you don't got to say nothing if you ain't got nothing to add, but who you picking?
No, I really don't. Greenwood's just one of those traditional powers. I know what they were 4A last year, so I will see what happens.
There, should be a good one. You're not picking nobody?
I've got to go Lowco, Buford.
Yeah. I'll make it unanimous. Home field, playing the second one versus the first one. I like it. I like Buford. But I think it's a real close game. I think it could go either way for sure. James Island at Hilton Head. Interesting matchup. Hilton Head got some votes this week in 4A. After killing Stall last week. This is not Stall. This is James Island. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. I'm very intrigued, but I got to go James Island on this one.
I want to be the homer on this pick and go with the Seahawks. I haven't seen enough yet. James Island has gotten the better of them when they were region mates in that 7-4A. region, which is no longer a thing. But hey, I like how Hilton had played last week. They took care of business against Stahl. Timko is a beast. They can rely on him if the offensive line does his job. Timko and the Seahawks can really control things. If they play the level of defense, the scrappy game that they do, they can hang in this one. That being said, I think James Island does come in and get the job done over a fledgling Seahawk team. I'm going to go with the James Island Trojans.
Yep, I think so. Other fellas?
Max, I'll put it this way. I think Hilton Head's a really good team. I think they deserve those votes that they got in terms of polling for 4A this week. But I just, again, like you said, Justin, this isn't Stahl. This is James Island. And I think James Island is just too powerful of a team for Hilton Head to handle at this point. I think it's too early in the season for Hilton Head to be able to compete with a team like this. I think Hilton Head's got the talent. I think they have, I think they have a bright future for this program. But I just think James Island's got too much firepower for Hilton Head to handle. So I'll take James Island by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. Stricklander?
As much as I want to go with Hilton Head, I love what BJ Payne and company is doing with that program. They've got some new wrinkles on offense to go along with the multiple defensive formations, but James Island's just too tough. I'm going to go James Island in this one.
Yeah. Stricklander, is it unanimous?
Yeah, I'm going to go James Island.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, on to the next one. May River at West Ashley. West Ashley beat them up pretty good last year, as I recall. But May River off to a great start last week against Airport. Rush game looks good. This is going to be a quick game. Neither one of them is going to throw it very much because I think West Ashley is like full-on triple. Slay was down your throat. So, I think this one goes pretty quickly. I'd like to think May River can win this, but I think I got to go West Ashley. They had a hard time just controlling that run game last year. I know they like their defense this year, but that's going to be a big physical team. And on the road, I think I got to take West Ashley at home.
May River is going to have their opportunities this year to get that signature win on the road. I don't think it's going to be this one. I think West Ashley still has a little bit more. May River, if they can show a little bit more offensively and execute the run game that we've seen from them, that could be a huge difference in this ball game. I think West Ashley just has a little bit more talent across the board than the Sharks do at this moment. But don't count out May River in this region. I do think West Ashley will hold serve and get the win at home over the Sharks.
Yeah.
I agree. I think, again, kind of same situation with Hilton Head James on 5A versus 4A school. West Ashley has more firepower in this situation. I think May River can keep it close, but I just don't think they have enough to get over that hump of being able to take the lead and hold on to that lead if they do. So I got to go with West Ashley here. But I'll make it close. I'll say a 7-point game.
Yeah, I can get down with that. Marcus?
I'm going to go West Ashley as well. I'll go a touchdown game. May River, obviously, I'm expecting huge things from them, but they still have a little ways to go here in the early season. I'll take West Ashley at home.
All right, Stricklander?
I say there's blood in the water. We go Sharks.
Oh, Stricklander going homer.
All right.
You're going homer with the Sharks
it.
pick. All right, you're going to have friends over at May River. The other team across town, the Bluffton Bobcats, at Andrew Jackson, coming off an incredible offensive performance. Lowco Player of the Week, Aiden McCarthy, 6 touchdown passes last week. Andrew Jackson's usually a pretty good squad, but I think Bluffton's offense is going to be just a bear to prepare for, week in and week out. The teams that see them more, the region teams who are familiar with them, it'll be a little bit easier, but I think it's going to be a matchup problem for a lot of people, and I think they'll put up a lot of points on the road and bring home another win.
Great pick. Bluffton and Aiden McCarthy leading the way has been a revelation so far through just one game, but I think that Coach Hayden Gregory has them playing at a new level this year from what I've seen in the past. Now, Andrew Jackson is still, going to be a solid test for the Bobcats. That's a program that has done some good things and some big things throughout, but in terms of what we've seen from Bluffton last week, can they play on the road? I mean, there's one thing to start off scoring at home against the Whale Branch team that lost a lot, a 2A team.
Yeah.
Now, can you do the same thing on the road? And I think they can. I mean, that was a 57-0 win. Can you replicate that now away from Bluffton, away from your home field? I think they can. I think that that's a strong, tenacious defense will travel with them, and I think they go 2-0 on Friday night.
And to have such a huge win against a very good opponent, even though they lost a lot in Whale Branch last week, they don't have nearly as much pressure on them going into this game, even though it's on the road, because they've seen a lot of good stuff already from themselves, and everything that they can stand through this game coming up, they'll just be able to work on it, and it'll end up being positive momentum going forward into the season. I like Bluffton to get a win. I don't think it'll be 57-0, but I like them to get a win coming up here tomorrow night.
Yeah, I
agree. I agree. I think Bluffton's just too good for Andrew Jackson. I think Andrew Jackson's a very strong team, and they're going to be a top dog. I think they're in 2A this year, right? They're a 2A team. Yeah. I think they're going to be one of the top dogs in 2A this year. They're a team that's no joke. You don't want to mess with Andrew Jackson, but I think, again, in this situation, I think Bluffton has too much firepower for Andrew Jackson to handle. I think Bluffton wins big in this one. I think they win by solid 3 touchdowns.
Ooh. Number 7 team in 2A. It's a quality squad. I think it's possible. I think Bluffton's defense is better than I thought it was going to be.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got some depth over there. So
yeah.
I think that's what shocked everyone last Friday was we didn't know
Josh
what the
Bond
defense
was
going to
great.
look like for Bluffton.
Caleb Gadsden.
Caleb Gadsden was great. They played really well together as a team. I mean, I didn't hear Gregory's speech. I should have stayed a little bit more and heard that because he delivers some inspired ones, and he can get fired up. He gets
animated.
Up. Yeah. So I think he'll have some more chances to make some nice moments there post game after some big wins. I think they'll have some more this year, including potentially some in region play. So we'll see. A long way to go, but I like what I'm seeing for Bluffton. I think they will be a legitimate contender in this region if they continue to play at this level.
I just saw Dan Mullen's projected college football playoff, and he has Utah and Miami in the top 4 seeds.
Wow.
That's a bold prediction, right?
A lot of people are really high on Utah out of the Big
12.
Wow.
That's a bold prediction. To have them seated ahead of Georgia. And that's wild. I don't know. Sorry, that caught my eye, and I had to bring that up. Miami, I know they spent a bajillion dollars.
It'd be a great match against Florida this weekend on Saturday.
Yeah, Miami's just going to disappoint like they always do. So
all right, but back on track. Stricklander, you got Bluffton or Andrew Jackson?
Personal reasons, I can never pick a school named Andrew Jackson, but I think Bluffton's going to win this one.
I mean, I'm kind of with you on that one.
Andrew Jackson Academy is one of our big rivals.
Right,
so I just can't.
Right, yeah. Y'all have a nickname for them. But Woodland at Colleton County. Colleton County coming off the loss at Hampton. Looked a little out of sorts early. Scored a couple touchdowns in the second half. Woodland, really quality 2A squad. This is an interesting matchup. I really want to believe Colleton's going to win, but I think I'm going Woodland. They were just a little too out of sorts from me last week, and I know Hampton's good, but they were just a little discombobulated.
And I thought we would see a little bit more, especially what we saw last year. I thought Colleton did a good job hanging in this one. They got blitzed in that game Friday against Hampton. Just kind of they blew them away. They punched them early, and then that was that. I want to see a little bit more from Colleton. Maybe they'll show up against Woodland. But I do think that Woodland comes away with the road win over Adam Kinglock's Colleton squad. But still, there's some optimism. Colleton can find ways to compete as the season goes along. I do think Woodland wins by a close-ish margin, maybe 2 scores.
I'm hoping to see Carleton coming up against May River in a few weeks. And from everything that I've heard from Coach Kinlock and you guys about Carleton over the last couple of years, I think that's going to be a great game. I think coming off that loss last week, they'll come home. They'll find a way to get it done. It might not be pretty, but I'm going to go Carleton County with the home win over Woodland tomorrow night.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So I made, I called for Carleton County to upset Hampton County.
You did. You did. You did. I wasn't going to bring it up, but you did.
I had to bring it up. With Kinlock, he and the rest of Carleton County, they showed the hype, but when that game started, the hype just wasn't there. And I know Carleton County is better than what that game showed. I know they can play better. I think Woodland is just, too good for Carleton County. So I think make it. You know what? Give me Carleton County in this one. I'll take Carleton County. I'll take Carleton County, but make it close. I say a 3-point game in Carleton County's favor.
We baited him into it. Stricklander, you're the tie-breaking vote. You got Woodland or Carleton?
I know last year Woodland kind of underwhelmed a little bit. I remember, they were talking about the game.
They came into Hampton whipped them.
And but I don't know.
That was a beat.
I know historically Carleton's been kind of down for the past few years. I don't know. I'll go with Woodland on this one.
All right. So
I'm not convinced.
That's our closest one thus far. So that looks like a Donnybrook. And then the one that Marcus has over at Battery Creek, JP2 and Battery Creek. Second week in a row, the Dolphins taking on a Skeeza opponent. Hung in pretty tough against Hilton Christian. Felt like that game was nip and tuck all the way. It ended up a 10-point game, but it was in the balance late. Hilton Christian's a better team than JP2. JP2 sitting at 0-2. I know you won't pick this one, Marcus, but we'll let you break it down for us. But I'll go ahead and I'll go Battery Creek on this one.
I really think that this game is going to come down to, how the athletes are certainly on the field. It's early season. It's going to be blazing hot tomorrow.
Yeah, it is.
Are we going to see guys just cramping like crazy down the stretch in the fourth quarter?
Well, Battery Creek certainly did that last week against Christian Academy. So.
Yes, they did. I also think, though, that they've got some athletes that can get it done in some crucial moments on the outside. I really like JP2's running game. I think we're going to see a lot of ground and pound from both teams. Line play is going to be huge, but who makes the big play and then just who's healthy enough by the end of the game? That's going to tell it all, because I think we could possibly see some issues. Water, Gatorade, soy sauce, the whole bit. They're going to need it tomorrow.
Pickle juice.
It's going to be a hot one.
Apparently last week, somebody from the Hardyville side went and bought the whole jar of pickles from the concession stand and brought it over to the sideline, and they just started eating pickles and drinking pickle juice.
So I was at the Battery Creek Kilmer Christian game last Friday, and on Christian Academy's sidelines, under the medical bench that they had, was this massive jar of pickles and pickle juice. And I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. I love when they get out the pickle jars, man. With this Battery Creek game, I think, like you said, Justin, the Christian Academy is just, I think, better than JP2. There's no doubt there. Yeah. I think offensively, JP2 just isn't there. I think defensively, they can show something against Battery Creek, and I think they can hold Battery Creek defensively. But I think offensively is what's going to kill JP2, and I don't see them winning this game, unfortunately. I'm going to go Battery Creek.
Yeah, because even Christian Academy didn't light it up on offense against Creek. Creek's defense they got athletes over there.
They do.
I think I think they're big and fast. Strick. Oh wait, Wes, who'd you pick?
I'm going Battery Creek in this game. I like Creekstown out there. JP2 still a lot of work to do for Coach Milligan's team, but I think Creek's ready to take this one on the road.
This would be
they're
the
at home.
They're
at that Battery Creek, yeah.
So
okay.
It got switched.
Got switched last
big
minute.
key
That will be at
as
Creek.
well.
Well, City Hall is double booked.
You got
there.
yeah.
Yep.
They couldn't do both at home.
Yeah, somebody's either got to play on Thursday or you got to move one. So
next year,
Strick, you making it unanimous?
Games.
Yeah, I'm going to go Battery Creek on this one.
I thought you might go Skeeza homer after Skeeza went 2-0. Loco Skeeza went 2-0 against High School League last week.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
I just don't see John Paul with it yet.
Yeah. Well, losing Sanders hurt too. He was going to be their best receiver. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
they're in a tough spot.
They don't have enough depth at any position, really. They just don't. So.
Yeah, I think they'll get worn down in this one. Allendale Fairfax is at Hampton County. I think I can probably pick that one for everybody. And I think we'll probably know the outcome by the end of the first quarter. Nothing against Allendale. Hampton's a machine.
Yeah, that should be a fun night. Fun night for the Hurricanes fan over in Hampton County.
Fun night for one time.
A quick win and then over to Hurricane Sports Cafe to celebrate.
That's right. One time, baby. One time.
Yeah.
I love that dude. I hope he comes by and cuts the grass tomorrow so I can see him at Hardyville. So everybody's on Hampton, right? Nobody's going out on that limb.
Can't
then we got
maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah. Then we got Whale Branch at Hardyville in the fallout shelter, as they're calling it. I told the boys today, fallouts don't have anything to do with hurricanes. That's nuclear attack.
Yeah.
It's the hurricane shelter. So we're in one time hurricanes all the way. So we're in the fallout shelter, as they call it. We got the Warriors coming to town. First home game at Hardyville for varsity in 12 years. I'm doing it, baby. I'm going Canes.
Good for you. Rep the school.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, you know what?
Checking in.
Yeah, I think with Whale Branch, there were a lot of questions that was left after that Boston game for Whale Branch. I think Whale Branch has a talented team. Very scrappy. They play a very scrappy version of football. I had a lot of questions after that Bluffton game because I honestly thought I didn't think they were going to win that game, but I thought they were going to keep it close, at least like a 2-touchdown difference, and they just didn't. It wasn't even close, 57-point difference. So I still have questions for Whale Branch, and for that reason, I think I'm going to go with Hardyville in this one. I think Hardyville looks like a really, believe it or not, a really solid team. I like how they played last Friday. I like this team. I think they're good. I think they're gonna raise some hell up in the region. I think they're a team that definitely keep an eye on as you go along the season. I'll take the upset here. I'll take Hardyville.
Yeah, a week ago I never could have imagined myself picking that in this game, but last week changed my mind.
And I think there's also a inspirational factor to it. That first season back playing at home. Whale Branch is going to be a tough team as they get into region play, although it's a very good region. Hampton County and the likes, Barnwell. That's a very, very challenging set of games to go through. They're going to be better than. I think Hardyville is going to play another, that inspired football that we saw last week. Whale Branch still has something to sort out. Do I think Whale Branch makes it a closer game? Maybe better performance than we saw last week. I think so. I think Hardyville finds something extra again to get this done in a very tight ball game tomorrow night.
I'm going to go with Whale Branch with the upset here. I
don't know if it's an upset, really. I think Hardyville.
I think in this game, Whale Branch is the favorites.
I'm going to go with them for the victory. I'll put it that way. I'm saying upset.
I think the line's Whale Branch minus 3.5. 3.5.
Yeah, I agree.
I just do not see a Jerry Hatcher team that got beat 57-0 coming back and losing the next week. I can be assured of this, and you guys know Whale Branch even better than I do. This was not an easy week for that team. Jerry Hatcher, I'm sure, had those guys going and going hard, and that's the understatement of the century.
You can bet on that.
You can bet on that. I mean, he's just recovering from knee surgery himself.
No, it's shoulder, rotator cuff.
Oh, that's right. It was
rotator cuff.
My wrong joint. But I just think that it's not going to necessarily be pretty. But Whale Branch is going to take one of those steps towards being a factor in that region, and that's going to come with a win tomorrow after what happened last week. They need to play a lot better, and they need to win.
Yeah, they definitely need a win on Friday. If it's no doubt there. I think, I think with Whale Branch, I think if they don't win this game on Friday, I think there's going to be a lot more questions than there was last Friday with this team, and why haven't they gotten themselves a win at this point in the season? I know it's early in the season, but I think Hardyville's a young team. Hardyville's not a super experienced team. Whale Branch is more experienced, but I have too many questions about this Whale Branch team, and I think that's why I went with Hardyville in this matter.
Yeah, Strick.
I know when you get taken to the woodshed like Whale Branch did, you can do one of two things. You can roll over.
Yep.
Or you can get angry. I think Whale Branch is going to come in with a chip on their shoulder. I think they're going to try to make a statement. I think they're going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm I guess I would say afraid of, so to speak, as a employee of Hardyville High School, is that I do expect, and I've been telling the boys all week, I was like, y'all know they're going to be mad as hornets, right? And they're like, yep. And so the thing that encourages me is that they do realize that, and they've stayed very humble, and they've said the right things as far as what they need to do to win this game. And that's kind of what put me over the top to go ahead and pick them. I think it's going to be a fight. I really do. But I think that if Hardyville can match Whale Branch early and they can take the fight to them, I think after what happened last week, it could be pretty easy to get their heads down a little bit. And Hardyville's much bigger and more physical on the line play than people are going to expect them to be. They're going to be tough up front. They're going to be able to contend with Whale Branch up front, and they got some serious speed coming out of the backfield. So, I think it's going to be a really good game. I'm excited. I'm really excited for the game. I get to go to a pep rally tomorrow. First one in almost 30 years. It's going to be awesome.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And we get out of class to do it. It's going to be great, man.
Oh, that's
going to be so much fun. But, I think it's going to be a great game. We still got a few more to get through, and we're past 10:30, so we'll get rolling here. Bethesda, Hilton Head Christian Academy. This is a good matchup. Bethesda fought back against THA last week. It was 41-32, but THA had 2 kickoff return touchdowns and 2 pick sixes. So that Bethesda defense didn't play that badly. I think it's going to be an interesting game. I think it could be fairly entertaining on the offensive side. I'm going Hilton Head Christian, but I think this game's going to be very competitive.
I'm going to go HHCA as well. I mean, they had the win last week against Battery Creek, but only put up 16 points. We saw it last year, too, where they struggled in the first few weeks and then really turned it into second and third gear. Mm-hmm. For them to have a chance to continue their dominance in skis of play, they're going to have to really kind of turn the ratchet up a notch, and I think they'll do that against a very good Bethesda team. I got HHCA in this one.
I do too. I think they have responded well the way they needed to against Battery Creek last night, and I think the energy will be brought in a big way against Bethesda team that is going to present a challenging test at home for HHCA. Although I gotta say, Thomas Hayward showed off against them. I thought it would be a lot closer last week when they played Bethesda, but Thomas Hayward kind of controlled that one. And I think Hilton Christian, I just don't. How are you going to find a way to stop Reed McCollum? That's the question, because he is a beast of many different proportions.
He's a force of nature.
Yeah, and so that's a challenge to defend, and they got some skill position guys that are also really starting to ascend. And that defense played better. Now Bethesda is going to try to work out some things from last week they didn't like, but I think Hill and Christian is all in all completely a little better team than Bethesda's right now, and especially playing at home in front of that crowd. Losing that first one at home, I don't think they'll lose 2 in a row at the Cage. I think they get it done, get the dub on Friday.
Yep. Anyone else? Max, Strick?
Yeah, I'll go Christian. I'll go home hit Christian Academy. I think actually, the battle of defending state champions too. Don't forget
it is.
It's true.
It is.
But I think Christian Academy last week. I think the defense played a lot better than they did in their first game against Portugal. They showed that they can play good defense, and they did that.
They were flying around. Yeah, they were flying in that game.
They were making plays, and that's very encouraging. I think now don't have as many questions right now on defense. I'm sure some questions will arise from this game against Bethesda because Bethesda is no joke. They know how to play football and play it well. I think
they got some big old jokers.
Yeah, offensively, I think there were some questions because Christian Academy could have easily, I think, with how the game went, I think easily Christian Academy could have scored more points than 17 on Battery Creek. I think they need to find a way to score touchdowns. I think Reed McCollum, I think if I have to have any criticism for that dude, it's not running the ball. He's totally fine doing that. I think his passing game is what's going to need to get better on Friday. I think if he can figure out his passing game and be able to work that in with his running game, I don't see a way Bethesda can hold off this offensive-powered Christian Academy team. I think Christian Academy wins, but I'll say it's close. I'll make it a 10-point game.
All right, Strick.
I think last week you didn't really get an idea of what kind of team Bethesda is. I mean, you're down that much and you haven't even done anything.
Right.
I'm gonna go. I think I'm going with Bethesda on this one.
Okay. Bucking the trend. I think it will be a good game. And now we're into Stricklander's wheelhouse. I don't know nothing about Clarendon Hall, but except that Patrick Henry's going up there tomorrow. But I feel confident in saying Pat's on top. But Stricklander, tell us more about this matchup.
Clarendon Hall lost a lot from last year. They lost their, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, like their star players. We watched them on film. They got some big guys, but they're slow. They lost to Spartanburg Christian last Friday, who historically is not very good. So,
Pat's on top.
I think we're gonna go out there and take care of business, and we just can't look past this week towards Beaufort next week.
Yeah.
But I think we go up there and we handle things and get the win.
All right, you heard it there. You guys, you gonna go against the Stricklander?
No, I don't think so. I think the way Patrick Henry played last week, I don't have any doubts right now for PHA. I'm sure that game against Beaufort Academy next Friday is going to be a really, really interesting game, and I'm excited to see how that game goes. But for this Friday, I think PHA is the more talented, more fire-powered team. So I'll take the Pats.
As long as Michael Tucker's standing upright, I got the Pats.
Yeah.
Now, if he goes out, that's like 3 dudes getting hurt. So that's a bit of a problem. But, I think they'll be fine. Thomas Hayward, Colleton Prep, Max will be up there. This is a great matchup. Again, Hayward, nice win last week, but ended up being a 9-point game, and they had 24 points off fluky plays, sort of, So, I'm not convinced that it's going to be a walkover in this one at all. I think it's going to be a really good game. I'm gonna go Hayward, but I really think it can go either way. It's almost a coin flip for me. Colleton was more impressive than I expected them to be in week 0, and then they were good last week too. They got up 28-0 and then just kind of coasted. Walker Bryan's the real deal in the backfield. They got some young guys who can make plays on offense, and they fly on defense, and they hit hard. So I think this is going to be a really good game. I'll take Hayward, but I think it's within a touchdown.
I'll take a 3-point
should be a good
game
one.
for PHA. 3-point game. But
Favorite PHA? All right.
I'm gonna go Colleton Prep. I think Colleton Prep is a very strong team, and when they're at home, That's one of the best home advantages in the Lowco area. That's one of the best, football atmospheres, I've personally been to in my time. I think THA is going to make this a close game, but I think Carlton Prep has the firepower to beat out Thomas Hayward. I really do, and for that reason, I'm going to go with Carlton Prep at home. I think they take this win, but make it close. I say a touchdown difference.
You should just move to Baltimore, man. They're going to love you up there.
This might low-key be one of the better games, maybe the best game of the week in terms of competitiveness.
I think, yeah.
These two teams are
and
right
it's a region
there.
game. Like there's actual stakes.
There's a lot on the line in this ball game. It's a hard one to pick, and I could feel this one completely going against me. I mean, they could prove Thomas Hayward. I feel like could absolutely prove me wrong in this. I like Carlton Prep at home. I like the way they're playing right now. I like Coach Langdale, what he's doing. I know Thomas Hayward. As I'm saying, is Tony Banner could go off for a 200-yard game and prove me wrong. I like Carlton Prep tomorrow night.
All right. So it's an even split, and we send it to the Skeeza experts, the Stricklander, to break the tie.
I picked Bethesda last week, and I was wrong. I think Hayward wins big.
Oh, big. How big we talking? Like 3 touchdowns?
I think 2.
Okay.
2 or 3.
I don't know if 2's big, but 3's big. 3's definitely big.
Yeah.
All right, so Hayward gets the call. 3-2 in a split decision. Luckily, they get to actually play the game tomorrow and determine who wins instead of relying on us. Buford Academy as St. John's Christian. St. John's Christian scored a couple late, but was down 28-0 against Carleton last week. BA started with the tough one, but then got a win over Hilton Head Prep pretty convincingly, and then we saw it Prep that last week. Got that dub. So I think I'm going BA in this one. I like those Eagles on the road.
I am too. I think they have a chance to really have a special season in Buford, putting everything together. And I'm really looking forward, whether I get there next week or not, because I won't be calling a game next week. I'm really looking forward to that Buford Academy PHA game next week. I'm going to take BA in this one. I think this is going to be a big win to continue to ride the momentum for Buford Academy and the Shufords.
Yep.
Yeah, I think things are going well over there at PA. Got a solid win over Hilton Head Prep. I think Buford Academy is going to go out away from home, use that same kind of intensity with Dietrich Schufer at the helm. And, man, I loved watching Fripp there, that long touchdown pass that he corralled early on in the game. And then, man.
He's fun.
And then Nick Underwood, geez, what an electric player that he is. They got underrated, really a couple solid weapons that can hurt you out there. Despite losing who they did, they're still a really solid team, and I think BA gets the job done and picks up another W.
Yeah, and St. John's lost last week. Tough way to lose. But
never an easy game. It's never an
easy game. They always have solid programs. I think they're going to go back home. They're going to be looking for a win. But I think Buford's the better team. I think they win this one. I'll say a 2 touchdown difference in this game. I think Buford Academy wins with ease.
Yeah. Strick.
There's no easy way to get the Monk's Corner, but I think Buford's going to have an easy win.
Yeah, there is no easy way to get to Monk's Corner. It's a long haul up there.
Oh,
you got to make a turn at the what's that one store called? There's a funny name store. You got to turn at.
What's a Masala or something?
yeah, there's some kind of funny name store up there that always makes me laugh. But I got BA in that one. And let's show off our 8-man football knowledge here, boys. I'm pretty sure we're just guessing, except Strick. He probably knows what's going on. The Kings Academy at Cross Schools, they both dropped down from 11-man last year. They weren't very good at 11-man, and they're struggling a little bit at 8-man as well. But I think the Kings Academy is going to roll over the Stingrays on Friday.
Yeah, and I think the way that Cross played last week, they're just not there yet.
I know it's Jeff Davis, but
Yeah, Jefferson Davis is no joke. I mean, we got to witness that last Friday with them scored in 36 points in the first quarter. So I think I would love to see Cross get a win here, but I don't think they do. I think Kings Academy wins this one.
We're just preparing for Conway Christian, baby.
Yeah, I agree. Well, when Cross gets their first win, it's going to be a great day, but it's not coming tomorrow.
I don't think so.
I like Kings.
Yep. Wes?
I'd love to see it happen, but I don't think they're quite ready to make it happen just yet. And Kings Academy gets the victory.
All right, and now the guy who knows something about it, Strick.
Well, I mean, the way they set up 8-man this year is kind of every team plays everybody twice.
Yeah, double round robin.
Don't play anybody in the other region to playoffs. I think that's dumb, but that's just me.
It's weird. It's weird.
I'm kind of bitter against Kings because they were our opener this year, and we lost a home game because of that. But I got to pick them because I just don't see Cross winning this one.
Yeah, I don't think so either. All right, well, that's the end of the slate, boys. So the Lowco Pigskin preview segment tonight brought to you by the Lowco Booster Club. You got the Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court with Charter One Realty, who want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel, including the Lowco Swag Store. Go over there and see what they can do for you and your business at Eagle Creations on Argent Boulevard. Jay's Barbershop is in downtown Ridgeland, and it's the place to be if you need a haircut or not. Go in for great conversation and come out looking stylish like one time. He gets his haircut over there at Jay's Barbershop. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. Floors so clean, your feet will thank you, from Chris Odom and the crew. Hudson Seafood House on the Docks, the presenting sponsor of Under the Bus, and a great place for seafood, sunsets and cocktails and brunch. And Hurricane Sports Cafe in Hampton. Great place to grab a bite. I recommend the Hurricane Burger, bird dogs. The wings are good. But everything I've had over there is quite tasty, and good folks over at Hurricane Sports Cafe. Thanks to the Lowco Booster Club for supporting grassroots local sports coverage. Parting thoughts before we go, gentlemen?
Well, I think you alluded to it earlier, but how about some tennis? A Lowco star making it big at the U.S. Open going on in New York. J.J. Tracy, a doubles player alongside Robert Cash, got the better of Alexander Sevchenko from Kazakhstan and his teammate Sam Weisborn from Austria. They won straight sets 6-3 and 6-4, and they'll move on to the second round tomorrow up against an Argentinian team of Andres Molteni and Maximo Gonzalez. So hopefully they can keep things rolling over there at the U.S. Open.
Seeded Argentines.
Yeah.
So great opportunity.
Yeah,
they play tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Nice. Be able to catch some of that.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, thanks to one of our Lowco High School Football Spotlight newsletter subscribers for tipping us off to that. Christina Galbraith Gonzalez letting us know about J.J. Tracy. I remember when he signed out of Hilton Head Prep, and he had trained at Smith Stearns. So, yeah, great to see him playing in the U.S. Open. Very cool. Good call there. Good pull, Wes. Any other parting thoughts, Marcus?
With the fact that I'm going to be making my 2024 play-by-play debut for WHHI TV tomorrow, found out that great longtime Cleveland Brown play-by-play radio announcer Jim Donovan has decided to call it a career after 25 years of calling Cleveland Brown.
Oh, wow. Did you send in your resume yet?
Not yet. The last couple of years, he has battled a very aggressive form of leukemia. And he came out in 2011 and said that he had battled the disease since 2000. And he kept silent from 2000. And I believe I have the dates right. From 2000 to about 2011, he really started seeking treatment and was cancer-free for several years. But within the last few years, it came back. He missed several games last year. I think he missed some the year before as well. And did the first games of the preseason this season and just said it was too much. The cancer had returned, and he really has to focus on that along with his family, with whatever time he has left. So all the best certainly go out to Jimmy Donovan. This is a guy that from 1999 until just last year in a couple of games, I was listening to, whether I was here or in Ohio, a great play-by-play man, a hard worker, worked for WKYC in Cleveland as the sports director and did a lot of stuff there. A Northeast guy originally from Boston, and did a lot of things in Boston previous to that. And it's an end of an era of Cleveland Browns football. They just had Doug Deacon, the longtime color guy, retire a couple of years ago. We'll see who ends up calling games for the Browns on the radio. But definitely a bittersweet day today, finding out that Jim Donovan was going to hang them up and officially retire. It's going to be a long shot, but if the Cleveland Browns were to win a Super Bowl, this would be a pretty damn good year to do it.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening this year, buddy.
I don't either.
Yeah,
I don't think so. But no, great tribute there.
I got something.
All right.
I got something. It's actually for you, Wes. Your Red Sox, man. Some history made. Rich Hill, 44 years old, takes the mound for the Red Sox. I believe tonight. Officially giving him a major league appearance 20 seasons in a row.
Wow.
How crazy does
Rich
that
Hill
sound?
is inevitable.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet tonight that said Rich Hill is inevitable.
I saw the strikeout he had come in relief. Yeah.
Rich Hill also had the greatest
How about
players
that? 44 years old
ever.
44 still picking up Ks.
Rich Hill started with the
Cubbies. You love this.
Damn.
Yep.
He had the greatest players weekend. Had the best players weekend jersey ever. It also, if you search the name that was on the back of his jersey, it just pulls up Rich Hill, by the way. It's just wonderful. I don't know if you guys know what the name on the back of his jersey was.
I don't remember.
Well, another name for Richard is Dick, and another name for a mountain is, or another name for a hill is a mountain. So it was Dick Mountain. That was his name on his Players Weekend jersey.
Oh, good Lord.
This is the greatest of all time. Strick, you got a parting thought?
I took tomorrow off work, so I got an even longer weekend. So
nice.
It's Labor Day weekend.
Taking all four.
My Gamecocks are playing Saturday, so.
Yep. Final score from Raleigh. NC State 38, Western Carolina 21.
Yeah, ran out of gas.
Yep.
My Blue
Hunters up 48-0. We're up 48-0 on Murray State.
Whoa.
And my wife was like, well, it's one of those weak opponents, though. And I said, yeah, well, there's been years where those weak opponents we lined up early in the season, we were squeaking by them or losing to them. So we'll take 48-0.
Colorado's pulled away on North Dakota State, too.
Yeah, I know. They're going to win. I was hopeful that North Dakota State could knock them off. I once covered a North Dakota State game in the D2 playoffs against Pitt State way back in the day. Wow. North Dakota and North Dakota State both used to be D2 powers back in the day.
Where was that game played at, JJ?
Pittsburgh State. Yeah, I would not have traveled to Notre Dame. I was living 20 minutes away from Pittsburgh State at that time. So that's where I grew up. The Gorillas. That was my my hometown team when I was a kid, going to Carney Smith Stadium. Gorillas, Pitt State.
Yeah.
Love those guys. All right, fellas. Well, great show tonight. Enjoyed it. We had a great time talking football and much more. Had our appearance from Joseph Ferguson and Kamari Brown from the Hurricane News Network. That was cool. Check out the Hurricane News if you want to know more about what's going on at Hardyville Senior High School. The news director makes an appearance in the show this week. But no, thanks to everybody who was a part of it tonight. Thanks to all of our sponsors and everybody who listens or watches. We appreciate you, especially those of you who are doing work in the comments. We appreciate you. Mike and Jack, awesome show. Gain much information. That's the idea. And we have fun doing it. So thanks to everybody who makes it possible. Thanks to all you guys, Stricklander, Marcus Walsh, Wes Kerr, Max Arraj, You guys are the best, best team around. And can't wait to do it again tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Lowco Pigskin Live. Until then, for all these guys, I'm Justin Jarrett. Go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.